So today, or this is kind of going to be a little bit of a different video. So basically, what's going on is, well, there's a guy on YouTube. His name was, Charlie Chill, and he did some stupid stuff, and his channel got terminated. And his other YouTube account, Charlie Travels, just got terminated a few hours ago. I kind of want to share my thoughts on this. Now, I don't want to go into everything he did because that'd be too long. I don't want to do that. Also, there's some stuff that I'd rather not talk about that he do. But a few hours ago tonight, I noticed all the videos talking about Charlie Travels terminated. It's been a few hours, so I'm assuming it's tonight. Anyway, so recently, a few weeks ago, Charlie Chills threatened to kill his brother and his brother's girlfriend, Bridget. His brother is, Michael, kid behind the camera. He's the cameraman for the Angry Grandpa show. And he's been doing stuff like that before. They've took him to court for other reasons. He's punched people. There's videos of him getting in fights with other YouTubers. A lot of hate's been on him, and for the stunts that he was pulling, it was kind of obvious. And there's other stuff that he's done, but I don't want to talk about that kind of certain stuff on my channel. If you really want to, you could go watch a video talking about the truth of Charlie Chill on Angry Grandpa Show's channel, where it was the kid behind. And anyway, so basically, the bottom line short is, or long story short, he threatened to kill Michael and Bridget, which is obviously against YouTube's terms of services, and lately YouTube's been cracking down on that, especially that kind of stuff. But there's other things that they've been cracking down on people cussing, and my opinion with cussing in the video is I don't really care. I mean, I generally try to keep my language based on the rating of the game I'm currently playing, but not always. But anyway, so my thoughts on this. Generally, I think it was a good thing because Charlie Chills / Travels having YouTube, that kind of power. He he had a bit of an ego problem, and he was constantly fighting people, getting in. Generally being really disrespectful and threatening people on Facebook and Twitter. I don't really use Facebook or Twitter. Mainly the only thing I use is YouTube. But I've seen videos of him getting in fights, and he's been, I don't know, maybe he's been on drugs. He dropped acid, and that's when it started. He dropped acid in Michael's boathouse, and he hit Bridget, and then they exposed him, and or I don't want to say exposed them. They revealed, his truth, or his secret, and it didn't end too well for him. But if any of you are watching, especially if he's watching this, I mean, I know, but there's certain things you just don't do, like you don't threaten people, and they are your family. And you say that you're sorry and all that, but if you're really sorry for making those mistakes and treating them that way, you would have quit. You would have quit doing drugs. You would have quit drinking, and you would have quit fighting with every single person on the internet. I mean. Your dad, Angry Grandpa, he didn't. I mean, of course it was. I mean, I'm trying to word this in a respectful way. So, like, Angry Grandpa didn't want to die having a son that would turn on him that quickly and treat him like trash. And you, everything that you got was because of Michael and your dad, and he Charlie Travels slash Jill or just flat out just stabbed them in the back because he got in his. I'm assuming that you got in your head that you could act less immaturely and get away with it, but there are always lines, and you see it with YouTubers with big egos all the time. They always cross some line and get in trouble. I mean, because like I kind of lately PewDiePie's been pretty cool in my book, but when he first was getting popular, I didn't really like him, but I don't really know what was going in his head, but he decided to make some Nazi jokes, and that ended up cutting back on his YouTube Red stuff. And back then I just thought he was. I thought it, but with the recent stuff he's been doing, he's not that. He's realized he's turning around. He's not as crazy. For the biggest YouTuber ever standards. And yeah, but there's just lines you don't cross. You don't threaten people. YouTube is there's the thing called computer netiquette rules. Where you act how you would in real life. If you wouldn't say it to somebody, and well, I guess Charlie Shields didn't matter. He just or it didn't matter him. He just said it. What he turned into the man behind the screen in real life instead of just having that. But yeah, you don't if you won't say it online, or if you won't say it to someone's face, don't say it uh, at all online or behind their back. It really just shows that people that do that are just a coward. With with because I'm not I'm trying to word this, so forgive me if I'm selling this, pronouncing or taking too long to finish my sentences. Now, in the the truth about Charlie Chill video, you could see how he was just saying these terrible things about Michael and Bridget. He was just making stuff up on the spot just to just. But so my thoughts is it somebody threatens to kill somebody, they should be removed from YouTube. And thank you, YouTube, for taking control of the situation before it spun out of control. Because I mean, Charlie Chill's been on YouTube a lot longer than he should have, but at least you guys got him off. And I'm just happy that there's less one more mentally unstable um, person on the internet, which it doesn't really count for much because it's the internet. But that's just kind of what I wanted to. And try to learn from the kind of stuff that he did. You know, if you want to start your YouTube channel, you can't forget the people who got you there. I mean, Chill. He forgot all the stuff his brother was doing for him. He forgot all everything Grandpa did for him. He forgot everything his family did for him, and he just got so swept up in the media that he his demon took over, and it just doesn't end well. And yeah, at first, in the beginning of this video, I was just kind of just gonna talk about and let you guys kind of know what's up. But now I'm just kind of turning this into you gotta you gotta hold on to the more important things. YouTube isn't the most important thing in the world. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not comparing. You see it a lot on where celebrities or YouTubers they just neglect their family. And, it's one thing to be rude to fans off camera and them generally being a jerk off when nobody's recording them. But it's another thing to do what Charlie did. And Charles Green. He's probably one of my he was my favorite YouTuber. I'd watch him all the time, and he died knowing, probably thinking his son hated his guts, and that feeling, for a father to think that one of his kids hates him, especially such a loved father as or grandparent as Charles Green. He had all those grandkids that really looked up to him. Even weeks now, they're still they're still mourning over him. I've been watching that video. I remember when I first found out Angry Grandpa Dead. It was right in this room. It was kind of in the middle of the night, and I picked up my phone to check the time, and I'm like, oh, and it said there was another Angry Grandpa upload, and I'm like, oh, I'll just watch that later. 'Cause I knew he was sick, but I thought he was kind of recovering. But deep down, I kind of had a feeling that that was going to be it. And generally, when I get that feeling a lot, you know, they whatever that feeling's on ends up passing, because I've had that just kind of for you just kind of know when it's gonna happen. I mean, for Grandpa, he went to the hospital and then he started recovering, but then when the second phase hit, I'm pretty sure Michael just knew that deep down he was just like, this is it. This is the end of. Well, I don't want to say it's the end because it's not. Zane Grandpa is immortalized on the internet, and a lot of fans that really loved him. And Charlie Chill is his own son. You can't forget how important family is, especially with if a YouTuber gets big, if anybody's watching this or that, and you end up getting big, please remember my words. Do not forget that there's more to life than making YouTube videos or trying to get views or getting people to like you. You still have a family, and even if you're adopted, you still have friends. You can go out and get a job, and you can work real life, or you could try doing it with YouTube. If you can do it with YouTube, great, but just never ever forget who you are. Because when you start YouTube and you end up getting big, it's really easy to lose your basic humanity. Well, I don't want to say easy, but a lot of people do lose their basic humanity, and they just become bullies. I don't want to name a lot of people because it's really just not worth it. But I just had to talk about this because I was kind of holding it in. I'm thinking, should I upload and talk about this, or should I just let it go? Because I kind of don't want my channel to be about this kind of stuff. But this time I'm gonna let it. And hope you guys, or hope I could have helped you with just kind of talking about kind of my feelings on how the whole Charlie Chill situation, and you know and what I think led to that. Now, led to him becoming or it led to his demon. And when I say demon, everybody has another side to them. Like everybody has a side where they're secretly a bully, or they have dark thought. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, I have a dark side to me. Everybody does. It's you just have to be strong enough to pull your own weight and do what you gotta do, and just you gotta hang on to the important stuff. When you make So so what I'd say for any of you guys that want to start YouTube, may, probably write down and take a book and write down what your life is like, how, your dreams, how what your relationship is with your family, how do you like how you're with your friends, are you doing better, are you doing worse? And then if you start getting successful, look back on that book and write another page saying you know and seeing if how much you've changed, and in what parts of you'd have wished to keep, and parts of you that you'd want to lose. Because with Angry Grandpa, he used to be he used to be really overweight, but just having the love of all of his trying to think of a really respectful word. All of his, I'm gonna say friends, all of his friends that watched him on YouTube. Um, Crap, I forgot what I was saying. All right, I never finished, talking about when I first found out, Charles Green passed. So yeah, I was in my room. It was kind of late at night. I was like, oh, there was another update, and just when I pressed the button to turn on my screen, my eyes saw the word "rip." I'm like, hold on, and I've actually had that actually happened once before, but it wasn't actually that. It was just my brain imagining things. So I thought it was that again, and then I picked up my phone and looked at it, and and this time it was real, and I watched it, and well, I was it was it, I lost one of my favorite people in the world. I never knew him. I really wanted to meet Grandpa. I would have really liked to talk to him and or laugh with him and actually be there as a friend. Not to mention I really wanted to try his cooking. I loved watching him cook. And Charlie, he just lost sight of all this stuff, and and he may have just been acting like that before, but never go down that dark path. Don't let social media consume you. Don't get caught up in the sweep. That's just what I call it. Don't let it sweep you up, and don't become a mirror of whatever anybody else is uploading. Make your own videos. Laugh about it. Record your dad. I mean that. I mean, I started recording my dad every now and then, just because I miss hearing Grandpa, and I'm trying to fill in that gap because he's not there anymore, and so and with Tina, Tina, it was just a lack of communication with them. Sure, she did some stuff wrong, but everybody does that. And I mean, here's another really important part. When you see these stories on social media, everybody was just assuming Tina was just some crazy lady, but it turns out no, we didn't know the full story. So please do not judge people um, right off the bat. I mean, I guess with Charlie Chill was kind of an exception, but you always have to take into account that you don't know the whole story. I mean, there's been stuff that they didn't show, and probably because they probably have footage to protect them from crazy haters, and that was just kind of my thoughts and kind of my reaction and kind of where my mind went when I found out Charlie Travel slash Chill was terminated. It's a shame that somebody you know would act that way toward his family, even when they give them that much, and I hope he changes in the future, but he'll probably one day I hope that he'll just wake up and realize what he's don't he'll wake up and he won't be immature. He'll like he'll hopefully realize what he did, and he could probably hopefully fix or attempt to fix the wounds that he's cast on his family. And well, that's just my thoughts on him and updating you guys and kind of how I feel about the situation. You know, I'm trying to make it sound respectful and is any is do I like Charlie Chill? I don't. But am I gonna rant about how? Well, I guess I am ranting about. But am I gonna like follow him around and tell him how terrible he is? And no, I'm gonna try not to be that person. And hopefully, I've helped some of you guys. 'Cause social media is an ugly thing. There are good things, but it can be pretty ugly. That's why I don't use any Facebook or any of that stuff. Is I upload videos because I want to be able to have kind of what Angry Grandpa did with his friends. I want to have people that'll like because I'm gonna try and be I'm gonna try and spend a lot of time with my viewers. I'm gonna open my Discord. I'm gonna talk with them. I'll try to message as many of them as I can um, on Xbox Live. And I'll I'm gonna try and you know that's the main reason I started YouTube. I didn't want any. Well, I guess fame's a part of it, but mainly I just wanted people like you guys to to encourage me and that I could talk to when I don't have anybody else to talk to. Because I was sort of inspired by Michael and Charlie, or not Charlie, uh, Charles Green, not Charlie. And Charlie is what I don't want to become, and I'm also just making this video so if I ever do become something like that, this way I can go back and watch my video and hopefully stop myself before I make the mistakes that he did, because there's nothing more important to me than my family and my girlfriend. And well, that's all I talk to. I listen to some weird kid on the internet rant about random stuff and say the same thing over and over. Um, Comment if you want and rate this video however you think. Go ahead and I'll see you guys next time. Sorry that took a lot longer than I wanted it to be.